The sun was just coming up in the small town of Kumba, Cameroon. Birds were singing in the mango trees. Women were sweeping their compounds and getting ready for the day. But in the small house at the end of Mambanda Street, there was no singing. There was only the sound of hungry children and a worried mother. "Mama, my stomach is paining me," little Amina said. She was only 7 years old. Her school uniform had 3 big holes in it. Mama Efua looked at her daughter with sad eyes. "I know, my child. Just drink some water. That's all we have right now." Amina's older brothers, Nyoku and Fon, sat quietly on the old wooden bench. They knew better than to complain. They had learned that complaining didn't bring food. The oldest child was Ngozi. She was 12 years old and very smart. She watched everything that happened in their house. She saw how her mother struggled. She saw how her father acted, and she was tired of it. "Where is Papa?" Ngozi asked. Mama Efua shook her head. "He left early this morning. He said he had business at the market." Ngozi pressed her lips together. Business at the market. That's what Papa Tanko always said. But Ngozi knew the truth. Everyone in the house knew the truth, but nobody wanted to say it out loud. Papa Tanko was a greedy man. Every morning, he would wake up before the sun and count his money. He kept it in a small bag that he tied around his waist under his clothes. Then he would leave the house and go to his shop at the big market in town. Papa Tanko sold electronics. He sold phones, radios, small televisions, and charging cables. Business was good, very good. People came from all over Kumba to buy from him because his prices were fair and his products worked well. But Papa Tanko had a secret, a big, terrible secret. He told his wife and children that business was bad. He told them there was no money. He told them they had to suffer and manage with little. But that was a lie. Every day, Papa Tanko made plenty of money. He sold many things. But when he closed his shop in the evening, he didn't bring the money home to his family. Instead, he would walk 3 streets away to Mama Rosa's restaurant. Mama Rosa's restaurant was the finest place to eat in all of Kumba. They served jollof rice with chicken, pepper soup with goat meat, puff, and plantains fried in fresh oil. The food was so good that the smell alone could make your mouth water. Papa Tanko would sit at the best table. He would order the biggest portions. He would eat until his belly was round and tight like a drum. Then he would pick his teeth with a wooden stick and smile. After eating, Papa Tanko would go to the tailor and buy new clothes. He had 15 different shirts. He had 8 pairs of trousers. He had 5 pairs of shoes that shined like mirrors. But his children? His children wore torn uniforms to school. They walked barefoot because their shoes had broken months ago. They went to bed hungry most nights, drinking only water to fill their stomachs. Mama Efua did her best. She woke up at 5 in the morning and went to the roadside to sell roasted corn. She would sit there in the hot sun all day, calling out to people passing by. "Fresh corn, sweet corn, come and buy." But roasted corn didn't bring much money. On a good day, she made just enough to buy a small bag of rice and some beans. On bad days, she made nothing at all. The children's school fees were not paid. The headmaster had sent 3 letters to the house. The last letter said that if Papa Tanko didn't pay by the end of the month, the children would be sent home. One Wednesday afternoon, Mama Efua decided she had to try again. She had to beg her husband for money. When Papa Tanko came home that evening, she met him at the door. "My husband," she said softly, bowing her head with respect. "I greet you. How was your day at the market?" Papa Tanko grunted. His belly was full from the 3 pieces of chicken he had eaten at Mama Rosa's restaurant. The day was long and hard. Business is terrible. Nobody is buying anything. Mama Efua took a deep breath. "My husband, the children need school fees. The headmaster says if we don't pay, they will be sent home." Papa Tanko's face twisted with anger. School fees? School fees again? Do you think money grows on trees? I just told you business is bad. But my husband. No, I don't have money. Can't you see I'm suffering? Look at me." He pointed at his brand new shirt that still had the shop tag hidden under the collar. "Do I look like a rich man to you?" Mama Efua saw the new shirt. She saw the new shoes, but she said nothing. What could she say? If she accused him, he would beat her. If she cried, he would leave the house for 3 days. So she just nodded and went back to the kitchen. Ngozi had been listening from behind the door. Her small hands were balled into fists. Her jaw was tight. She had seen her father's new shirt too. She had smelled the pepper soup on his breath when he walked past her. That night, Ngozi couldn't sleep. She lay on the thin mat she shared with her sister Amina and made a decision. She had to find out the truth. She had to know where her father was hiding his money. The next day was Thursday. Ngozi told her mother she was going to school, but instead, she followed her father. She stayed far behind so he wouldn't see her. She watched as he opened his shop and began selling his goods. She saw customers come and go. She saw her father collect money and put it in a black bag. When afternoon came, Papa Tanko closed his shop. Ngozi ducked behind a palm tree and watched. Just as she suspected, her father didn't go home. Instead, he walked toward Mama Rosa's restaurant. Ngozi followed. She peeked through the window and saw her father order a mountain of food: jollof rice, fried chicken, plantains, a big bottle of Fanta. He ate like a king while his children sat at home with empty stomachs. Ngozi felt tears burning in her eyes, but she wiped them away. She wasn't going to cry. She was going to be smart. She waited outside the restaurant until her father finished eating. Then, she followed him again. This time, Papa Tanko didn't go to the tailor. He didn't go home either. Instead, he walked to the edge of town where the old buildings stood. These were buildings that had been abandoned years ago when the government started a project and never finished it. Ngozi hid behind a concrete wall and watched. Her father looked around to make sure nobody was watching. Then he went inside one of the buildings. Ngozi's heart was beating fast. She waited for a few minutes. Then, very slowly, very quietly, she crept closer to the building. She peeked inside. The building was dark and smelled like dust. But in the corner, she saw her father kneeling on the ground. He was digging in the dirt with his hands. Ngozi's eyes went wide. Papa Tanko pulled out a metal box from the ground. He opened it, and even in the dim light, Ngozi could see what was inside. Money. Bags and bags of money. More money than Ngozi had ever seen in her whole life. Her father counted some of the money from his black bag and added it to the box. Then he buried the box again, covered it with dirt, and put an old piece of wood over the spot so nobody would know it was there. Ngozi's hands covered her mouth to stop herself from screaming. So this was where all the money went. This was why they were suffering. This was why her little sister cried from hunger every night. Papa Tanko stood up, brushed the dirt from his hands, and left the building. Ngozi pressed herself flat against the wall until he was gone. Then she ran all the way home. When she got there, her mother was sitting outside peeling cassava. "Ngozi, why are you not in school?" "Mama, I need to tell you something. Something important. But not here. Let's go inside." Mama Efua saw the serious look on her daughter's face and followed her into the house. Ngozi called her brothers and sister too. "What's wrong?" Mama Efua asked, worried. Ngozi took a deep breath and told them everything. She told them about following Papa Tanko. She told them about the restaurant. She told them about the abandoned building and the metal box buried in the ground. Mama Efua's face went through many changes. First shock, then hurt, then anger. "Are you sure about this, Ngozi? Are you absolutely sure?" "Yes, Mama. I saw it with my own eyes. There were bags of money. So much money, Mama. Enough to pay our school fees for 5 years. Enough to fix our roof. Enough to buy food and clothes for all of us." Little Amina started crying. "But why, Mama? Why doesn't Papa want to help us?" Mama Efua pulled her daughter close. "Because, my child, your father loves money more than he loves his family. But don't worry, we are going to do something about this." "What are we going to do?" Njoku asked. At 10 years old, he was ready to fight. "We are going to teach your father a lesson he will never forget," Mama Efua said. Her voice was calm, but there was fire in her eyes. That night, Mama Efua made a plan, but she knew she couldn't do it alone. She needed help. She needed witnesses. She needed the whole village to see what kind of man Papa Tanko really was. The next morning, which was Friday, Mama Efua went to see Mama Adele, the biggest gossip in Kumba. If you wanted news to spread fast, you told Mama Adele. "My sister," Mama Efua said, "I need your help with something." Mama Adele leaned forward. She loved knowing secrets. "What is it?" "Tomorrow afternoon, come to my house. Bring as many people as you can. I'm going to expose something that will shock everyone." 8. Expose what? You'll see tomorrow. Just make sure you bring people. Bring the church women. Bring the market women. Bring the elders, everyone. Mama Adele's eyes were shining. This sounded like good drama. I'll be there. Saturday morning came. Papa Tanko woke up and got ready to go to his shop like always. "I'm going to the market," he announced. "Yes, my husband," Mama Efua said sweetly. "Go well." As soon as he left, Mama Efua put her plan into action. She sent Njoku to tell the pastor to come. She sent Fon to tell the chief to come. She sent Amina to tell all the neighbors. "Tell them it's urgent," she said. "Tell them there's trouble at our house." By 1 o'clock in the afternoon, Mama Efua's small compound was full of people. The pastor was there in his white robe. The chief was there with his walking stick. Mama Adele was there with 20 other women from the market. Neighbors from every house on the street had come. "What's happening?" the chief asked. "Why did you call us here?" "I called you here because I want everyone to see the truth about my husband. I want everyone to know what kind of father lets his children starve while he eats like a king." The crowd started murmuring. "What are you saying?" the pastor asked. Just then, someone shouted, "Papa Tanko is coming!" Everyone turned to look. Papa Tanko was walking down the street, heading home early for some reason. When he saw the crowd at his house, he stopped. "What's going on here?" he demanded, walking into his compound. "Why are all these people here?" Mama Efua stood up. "I called them here, husband. I called them here so they can all witness the truth." Papa Tanko's face went red. "Woman, what are you talking about? Have you gone mad?" "No, husband, I'm not mad. But I think you must be mad to treat your family the way you do." The crowd gasped. Papa Tanko raised his hand, as if to slap her, but the chief stepped forward. "You will not touch that woman. Let her speak." Mama Efua's voice was strong now. "Every day, my husband tells us there's no money. Every day, my children go to school hungry. They wear torn clothes. They have no shoes. Our roof leaks when it rains. I beg and beg for money, but he says business is bad." "Business is bad!" Papa Tanko shouted. "You people can see for yourselves. Look at this house. Look at how we live. Do we look rich?" "You're right, husband. We don't look rich, but you look rich. Tell everyone here, where did you get that new shirt? Where did you get those shiny shoes? Why do you smell like Mama Rosa's pepper soup every evening?" The crowd turned to look at Papa Tanko. For the first time, they really looked at him. His shirt was indeed new and expensive. His shoes were polished. He looked well fed while his wife and children looked thin and tired. I bought these things long ago," Papa Tanko stammered. "Liar," Mama Adele shouted. "I saw you at Mama Rosa's restaurant just yesterday, eating enough food for 3 people. Other people in the crowd started talking. "Yes, I've seen him there too. He eats there every day. But he says he has no money." Papa Tanko's face was sweating now. "So what if I eat at a restaurant sometimes? I work hard. I deserve to eat." "You deserve to eat," Mama Efua said quietly. "But your children don't deserve to eat? Your wife doesn't deserve to eat?" The crowd was angry now. They began shouting at Papa Tanko. "Shame on you. How can you be so wicked? What kind of father are you? Papa Tanko looked around wildly. You people don't understand. You don't know how hard it is. Oh, we understand, Mama Ifua said. But there's more. Ngozi, tell them what you saw. Ngozi stepped forward. In a clear voice, she told the whole crowd about following her father. She told them about the abandoned building. She told them about the metal box buried in the ground, full of money. The crowd exploded with shock and anger. He's been hiding money? While his children starve? This is wickedness. Papa Tanko's eyes were wide with fear. That's not true. She's lying. There's no money. Then let's go and see, the chief said. Right now. Everyone, let's go to this building. And that's exactly what they did. The whole crowd marched through the streets of Kumba. People came out of their houses to see what was happening. The crowd grew bigger and bigger. When they reached the abandoned building, Papa Tanko tried to run away, but Njoku and Fon grabbed his arms. Let me go! Let me go! He screamed. Show us where the money is, the chief commanded. Papa Tanko refused to speak, but Ngozi remembered exactly where the spot was. She pointed to the corner, there, under that piece of wood. 4 strong men from the crowd began digging. It didn't take long. Soon they pulled out the metal box. The chief opened it. The crowd went silent. Then they exploded with shouts and screams. The box was filled with money, stacks and stacks of bills. More money than most people in Kumba would see in a whole year. You wicked man, Mama Adele screamed. Your children are going to school hungry, and you buried money in the ground like a dog buries bones. The pastor shook his head sadly. Brother Tanko, what kind of evil is in your heart? Papa Tanko fell to his knees. Please, please, I can explain. Explain what? The chief thundered. Explain why you let your children suffer. Explain why you lied to your wife. Explain why you ate like a king while your family starved. The chief turned to Mama Ifua. Sister, what do you want us to do with this man? Mama Ifua looked at her husband on his knees in the dirt. She thought about all the nights her children cried from hunger. She thought about all the times she had begged him for help. She thought about all his lies. I want him to feel what we have felt, she said. The chief nodded. Let it be done. What happened next became the talk of Kumba for many months. The crowd took Papa Tanko back to his compound. They made him sit in the middle of the compound on the bare ground. Then, one by one, his 4 children came forward. Each child carried a bucket of dirty water from the well. The water was cold and smelled like mud. Little Amina went first. Her hands shook as she lifted the bucket. This is for all the times my stomach hurt from hunger, she said. Then she poured the whole bucket over her father's head. Papa Tanko sputtered and gasped. The crowd cheered. Next came Fon. This is for walking to school with holes in my shoes, he said, and dumped his bucket. Then Njoku. This is for being laughed at because I couldn't pay my school fees. Splash! Finally, Ngozi. She looked her father in the eyes. This is for making Mama cry every night. She turned the bucket upside down. Papa Tanko sat there, soaking wet, shivering, humiliated in front of the whole town. But Mama Ifua wasn't finished. She picked up the old broom from the corner of the compound. It was the broom she used to sweep the house every morning. Now, she said, you will run where? Around this compound. And I will chase you, like you have been chasing money while your family suffered. The crowd started laughing and clapping. Yes, let him run. Papa Tanko tried to refuse, but the chief's walking stick came down hard on the ground. Run, or face the judgment of the elders. So Papa Tanko ran, and Mama Ifua chased him with the broom, hitting him on his back and his legs. Around and around the compound they went, while the whole village watched and laughed. Run faster, the children shouted. This is what you get for being greedy, Mama Adele called out. After 3 times around the compound, Papa Tanko collapsed in the dirt, exhausted and soaked and ashamed. The chief raised his walking stick for silence. Papa Tanko, you have brought shame to your family and to this community. From this day forward, you will give all your money to your wife. She will manage the home. If we hear that you are hiding money again, if we hear that your children are hungry while you eat at restaurants, the punishment will be 10 times worse. Do you understand? Papa Tanko nodded weakly. Yes, I understand. Louder, the crowd demanded. Yes, I understand. The pastor stepped forward. You will also come to church every Sunday and sit in the front row where everyone can see you. You will learn about being a good father and husband. Yes, Pastor. And, Mama Adele added with a wicked smile, you are banned from Mama Rosa's restaurant for 1 full year. The crowd cheered at this. Finally, the chief turned to Mama Efua. The money in that box belongs to your family. Use it to pay the children's school fees, fix your roof, buy food and clothes. This is your money now. Mama Efua took the box with trembling hands. Tears ran down her face, but they were tears of relief and joy. That evening, after everyone had left and Papa Tanko had changed into dry clothes, the family sat together in their house. Papa Tanko looked at his wife and children, really looked at them, maybe for the first time in years. He saw how thin they were. He saw the sadness in their eyes. He saw what his greed had done. I'm sorry, he said quietly. I'm so sorry. Mama Efua said nothing at first. Then she spoke. Sorry is just a word, husband. Now you must show us with your actions. I will. I promise I will. Little Amina, who had the kindest heart, climbed onto her father's lap. Papa, will you really change? Papa Tanko hugged his daughter tight. Yes, my child, I will change. I promise you all, things will be different now. And they were. From that day forward, Papa Tanko gave all his earnings to Mama Efua. She paid the school fees. She bought new uniforms and shoes for the children. She fixed the leaking roof. She bought food, and they ate 3 meals a day, together as a family. Papa Tanko learned to cook at home instead of eating at restaurants. He learned to appreciate simple jollof rice made by his wife more than fancy restaurant food. Every Sunday, he sat in the front row at church, listening to sermons about love and family, and not being greedy. The children forgave their father, slowly. It took time, but they saw that he was really trying to change. 3 months later, on a Saturday afternoon, Papa Tanko did something special. He closed his shop early and came home with packages. What's this? Mama Efua asked. Open them, he said with a shy smile. Inside the packages were new dresses for Mama Efua and Ngozi and Amina. There were new shirts for Njoku and Fon. And there was a new radio for the house, so they could listen to music together. Papa! The children screamed with joy. I wanted to do something nice, Papa Tanko said. To show you that I'm grateful. Grateful that you didn't give up on me. Grateful that you taught me what really matters. Mama Efua smiled. It was the first real smile she had given her husband in years. Thank you, my husband. That night, the family sat together listening to music on their new radio. They ate a good meal. They laughed together. They were happy. Word of what happened to Papa Tanko spread throughout Cameroon. Other greedy fathers heard the story, and some of them changed their ways, afraid of the same humiliation. Mama Efua became known as a strong woman who stood up for her children. Other women came to her for advice when their husbands were treating them badly. And Ngozi? Ngozi grew up to become a lawyer. She used her sharp eyes and clever mind to help other families in need. She never forgot the day she followed her father and discovered the truth. It taught her that sometimes you have to be brave and stand up for what's right. As for the abandoned building where the money was buried, the townspeople decided to tear it down and build a small school there instead. They called it the School of Second Chances, and Papa Tanko was the first person to donate money to help build it. Years later, when people told the story of the greedy father and his children, they always ended it the same way. Money is important, but love is more important. A family that takes care of each other is richer than a man with 1,000 buried boxes of money. And if you forget this lesson, the broom and the buckets are waiting for you. And everyone would laugh, but they would also remember. They would remember to put their families first. They would remember to be honest. They would remember that no amount of money is worth the tears of your children. And that is the end of the story of Papa Tanko, the greedy father who learned his lesson the hard way, and the brave family who taught it to him. Thank you so much for watching till the end. I truly appreciate every single one of you. If you enjoyed this story, please kindly subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of my updates. I see your comments, I read them, and I appreciate you all for always coming back to my channel to watch my videos. I'm really happy that you love my stories, and I promise to always give you the best stories you won't find anywhere else. Please stick with me, and thank you so much for sticking with me already. This is not just a random channel you came across, you are now part of the Tales by Teemee family. Your positive comments motivate me to do more, and I truly appreciate every bit of love and support. I promise you, I will not disappoint you. Thank you, and see you in the next story.